Yeah, so I was saying to my cousin, you know, I mean, just if you absolutely don't have to do it, don't go down on a stripper. I mean,
we've been over this before. Oh my God!
Then you walk around with a big cherry tomato on your lip.
Cherry tomatoes.
You know, like the herpes.
What?
The herpes.
Holy Moses.
That's what you end up getting.
Smell the roses. Yep. Holy hell.
All these people, they all got herpes.
Wait, hell, we're live. Good thing we didn't say what we were going to say. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just take a look at that Patreon there. Willis Creedia's in there. Let's fucking go already. CP, you son of a bitch, an asshole.
Hey, I was here on time.
He was here on time.
I was here on time. We were just
Jenny Delaney, Felix, who else is here? Dr. Sinister, if you're still here. White Tim, what's up, man? Just wanted to give a thank you here to my Patreon page that we have. Go check it out, people. Link is below.
Is that the official logo?
Official logo, what? Yeah. So I'm going to thank Spooky Astronauts. CP, Willis Credia, John Stanton, Eric Griffin, and Eric Griffin, I got to show something he sent me in about a minute here. Pretty damn cool. Hey, Ryan Strum, what's up? What's going on, man? Also, Nightmare Maven, Raiders AK, Felix in the chat, Queenie Todd, and this week we picked up Ben Grimm. Thank you very much, Ben, and John Dirksen.
Look at all cool people.
So,
look at these cool people.
There you go. And with that said, bam! Welcome to the Late Horror Show.
Just like that.
Just like that. Again, if you want to be a Patreon or patron of Patreon, links below. Me and Ted, we're going to have a couple videos that are going to be exclusive to Patreon, and they'll probably go up tomorrow.
That's right.
So, I'm starting to put content up there too.
I should start doing them topless. We'll get lots.
Exclusive, yeah. There may
I'll do them with no shirt on.
Might be some nude movie reviews there. So if you, geez,
the nude movie review.
The nude movie reviews only on Patreon. Anyways,
I got the balls for it. I don't know if you do.
Let's see. Felix is already chiming in here. He's got his list ready. There we go.
Dang.
Believe in the hype. What is up? Nice to see you.
See, I like this. People did their homework, man. They got their lists.
Looking forward to Vampire Talk. Me, always. Let me go through Felix's list here real quick before me and Ted get to our top 10 vampire films of all time.
Let's take our time.
We're taking
everybody, chime in with your list.
In our opinion, as always. Everybody's list is going to be different. And I got my cheaters this week so I can see.
I told me you should get a big magnifying glass.
Yeah, right?
It fits more with the theme.
And Ted's got a bit of allergies going on.
Yeah,
so if he's coughing or hacking or
hawking up,
spits something on the camera lens,
this is Cleveland, and now the grass is starting to grow because it's May.
Yeah.
And it's pollen time.
Yeah. I got to put up with this.
It's cloudy here 354 days a year.
Is it really?
Well, yeah, because
that's right.
Cleveland,
I live there.
It shades us.
Yes, it does.
From the dangerous star above us that can burn us and give us cancer.
And Ardith Blood, yes, gives us Ardith Blood is here. Eric Griffin. Yes, thank you. I'll get to your list in a second, Felix. But I do want to thank really quick Eric, Patreon of ours.
This is so cool.
He sent this to me, and when I opened that box up, I had no idea what to expect because he didn't tell me. And this thing right here, guys, the Phantom of the Opera bust, Lon Chaney, right there.
That is exquisite.
Look at that detail. I want to kind of, bring him in closer. But Eric, this is from him, and I cannot thank him enough. I told him it would be part of our table, part of our set, and here it is. And I'm going to check he's got wax in his
ear,
The
centerpiece
Ted.
At Thanksgiving.
He's got wax in his ear. There you know what? Yeah, right on the center. Carve up some
turkey. That would
turkey.
be the Ted family Thanksgiving centerpiece.
Yeah, really. So thank you again, Eric. I really appreciate it.
That's above and beyond what I would ever expect anybody to do.
Hell yeah. And Ardith Blood, like I said, loves the vampire. Thank you for showing up, Ardith.
Yes.
Wyatt is message retracted. I didn't see it. Let's see. CP says number 1 Breaking Dawn Part 2. Okay, I'm stopping right there, CP. Let me get to Felix's top 10 real quick. Felix Raiders AK says my list is 10. What We Do in the Shadows.
It's a popular one.
9,
People like that movie.
Blade. 8, Underworld. 7, Fright Night. 6, From Dusk Till Dawn. 5, Subspecies. Felix. Oh, I'm not even sure that made my list, but let's see.
I can't complain about anybody putting Subspecies on the list.
4, Near Dark. 3, Dracula. Which one? Probably the original 1931. 2, Let the Right One In. And 1, Nosferatu. Very, very interesting, Felix. See, this is cool. And if you guys want to afterwards put your top 10 list down in the comments below after the show, please do, because I'd be curious.
It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
It was...
Because I tend to go for older films, as everybody knows, and everybody hates.
So many ones that could have been on
I needed more. I needed like a top 15.
You needed a top 15.
If I could have done 15, I could have rounded it out with pretty much all of them that I really like.
Batman, new in the chat. What's going on? Suburban Cowboy. I believe Suburban Cowboy, that's Ronnie, right? Ronnie Savage. If that's you, and I do believe it is you, he's taking his shirt off.
He is? Ronnie's taking his shirt off?
Yeah, I believe so.
Fuck it.
For the stream. Batman. To me, Lugosi is the best Dracula. We will talk about that. Batman. Very soon. I'm watching with my shirt off. Here he goes. He said it's Suburban Cowboy. That's Ronnie. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in here in a little bit.
I'm like the dad in Goldberg's. When I get home, pants come off.
Yes.
I'm home, don't bother
I'm always updating my top list of vampire films about once a year. Suburban Cowboy, yep, it's me, Ron, shirtless all day, homie. That is right. But, yeah, so the setup is a bit different. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you very much, man.
You know, they probably made one of those for all of the Universal monsters.
Oh, frick.
Can you imagine having, like, a Creature from the Black Lagoon?
I can imagine it, yeah. I got my list right here. And,
those are exquisite.
Yeah, I think let's just jump into starting our lists then. All okay, right. You guys? And chime in anytime if you guys got questions or thoughts.
There's definitely...
I'll check the chat every now and then.
I can definitely think about 3-4 movies I love, but I just like these more.
Yeah.
So I wish I could have put them on there, but
well, let me throw...
I got what I got.
Yeah, okay. No, cool.
And as usual, my top 2 or 3, that's usually my top 2. Those are my top. Everything else, depending on my mood, could shift.
Did you throw on there on your list any like ones that didn't make the list? A couple like there's two.
No, but I know them.
Okay, there's 2 I've got to mention that isn't on my top 10 list.
I can mention them after we do them all, and then I can.
Oh, I'm going to throw them out there right now before I get into my list.
Honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions. I'm going to throw them out there right now because Vampire's Kiss with Nick Cage did not make my list, but
it didn't. That was a very interesting commentary.
It was, yeah, we did a commentary on Vampire's Kiss. If you go back and listen, if you haven't listened, but Vampire's Kiss is Nick Cage believes he's and I'm not giving a spoiler away. You can still go back and watch the movie on its own merit. So, but he believes he's a vampire, and it's you know Nick Cage, man. This movie is so weird, so bizarre.
It's only 2 words you need to say. Nick Cage.
Totally weird. Totally
Nick
bizarre. Coffin, he throws the couch upside down, gets under it. Anyways, that's an honorable mention. Something you guys should see if you haven't seen it yet and you love vampire movies. Watch Vampire's Kiss from 1988. Okay? And I had to throw this one out there too because this probably would have made my list, but technically it's not a vampire film, although people put it on their list of vampire films. The Omega Man from 1971, the Omega Man, Charlton Heston. They're not necessarily vampires, but somehow they are. But they don't drink blood. It's a very odd kind of sci-fi film, but I love this film.
Go with the original, where they were Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price.
There you go.
And then there's I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Same story. But the Omega Man, you got to see it, man. If you guys haven't seen that with good old Chuck Heston, you got to give it a watch.
Just starts off, I think, with him driving around the deserted city or something like that. I think I remember.
Love it. Oh.
Well, then, if we're doing our honorable mentions,
go ahead.
If I'd had a little bit more room,
yeah,
there would have been Subspecies 2, Bloodstone.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's my favorite of all the Subspecies movies. There would have been Near Dark. And there would have been Let the Right One In for sure.
Oh, my God.
I know. That probably would have been the very list. None of those are on my list.
Well, you can find out. Yeah, I
So
ain't spoiling
well, what
nothing.
is on his list?
I ain't spoiling yet. What I can imagine what's on your list. But...
I love all, especially Let the Right One In. I think is fantastic. But I'm a little bit more old school. I'm a little bit more.
Same here. But
and,
believe it or not, I've got some newer flicks on my. Well, relatively.
These that I'm gonna go through, I just like more than those.
You guys are throwing everything out there, but I'm going to...
and Fright Night. I would have put Fright Night on there, the original Fright Night.
Jenny says, thanks, or Ted, I like the Batman shirt, so...
Thank you. I was looking in my closet deciding what to wear. It was either this or No Ma'am from Married with Children. And
No Ma'am. Yeah, that's always a classic in our streams, No Ma'am shirt.
Ma'am.
Okay, so number 10 on my list of top 10 vampire films of all time is... Don't look. Son of a bitch.
I didn't see
Goddamn sneaking a peek. No.
I didn't see
Number 10 is The Hunger from 1983.
Oh, yeah, we did a commentary on
with,
it ages ago.
David Bowie,
Mm-hmm.
Catherine Deneuve, who plays the seductress kind of vampire in here. William Dafoe's in this. Susan Sarandon. Who,
Isn't Willem Dafoe just just at a phone booth or something?
He's just at his... I had to throw it in there, though, because that scene with William Dafoe in there sticks out to me big time.
Well, especially when you know that he became such a big actor later on.
Yeah. But the reason this... I put this at number 10 is just David Bowie. Everybody did a great job in this movie. Mm-hmm. It was a bit weird, a bit out there, strange kind of for a vampire flick, too. David Bowie... really did an awesome job in here.
Oh, and it starts off in like a goth club with Bauhaus. But Bela Lugosi's dead.
I was going to say that. Bela Lugosi. No, that's all right.
Just awesome. If you know that song when it hits.
And I love that song. That's my kind of music. I love it. And, what gets me about this, too, is when, towards the end, when David Bowie ages, there's something touching about the end of this film if you're a vampire lover. Eternity, living forever.
When you think you're going to live forever and then you're not all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Very, very emotional scene.
It's like it wears off and he starts to age or something.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it since we did that commentary, and it's probably more than 2 years ago.
Again, another commentary we did. Mm-hmm. So, go back and listen to what we have to say about that one.
That was like 2 or 3 sets ago.
A couple years ago.
At least.
Yeah. But, so that's my number 10,
Number 10.
Go check it out if you haven't, man. Good film.
All right. My number 10 is... Well, it was released here in
Hold on a second. Believe in the Hype. $2 super chat. Thank you very much,
thank
man.
You.
Van Helsing better be number 1, Dino. Ha ha. You're gonna have to wait and see.
Van Helsing's a character in some of the movies on my list.
Right? You gotta wait and see, man. You don't have to wait very long, but go ahead.
No. Number 10, released in 1974, Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter.
Okay.
Now, have you seen this movie?
Yes.
Captain Kronos, Vampire
Doesn't make my list.
One of the last really good Hammer movies to come out.
Let me just ask you real quick. You don't gotta... This isn't all your top 10 Hammer vampire movies, is it?
It could have been.
Oh, man. Okay.
But it's
Go
not.
ahead.
It's not even close.
Okay.
Wait. Just 1, 2,
5?
Yeah, maybe 4.
Okay. Go ahead.
Not even half.
So Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter.
Yes, because... And this is a very unique vampire movie.
Thank you, believe it.
It didn't do very well. They had planned... The director that... I think his name was Brian Clemens. This is the only film he directed. I'm not looking at your list. That he directed. The idea was to do a series of this Captain Kronos. And in this Hammer film, Captain Kronos is a ex-soldier. He's got a sidekick who's a hunchback named Grost.
Yeah.
And they travel the countryside, and they're professional vampire killers. Go from town to town wherever they're needed. I mean, before there was Buffy, there was Captain Kronos. And it's not just that he's a badass where he's got a samurai katana.
Yeah.
Later on he's got a sword made looks like a cross.
From The Lion King? Hakuna
Matata.
Oh, okay.
You're confused.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, you wonder oh my God, how's this guy got this, samurai sword? And I mean, he stands like a samurai. He's got the swords. He's ready to kick some ass.
Really?
But in this...
Scary.
And, it's even got Hammer Girl and Bond Girl, Carolyn Monroe, in it.
Oh.
She's a little gypsy named Carla that he rescues.
Love that.
But
again, love the Hammer chicks.
Yes. But this film's a little different in that the vampire that they're chasing doesn't drain people of their blood. It drains them of their youth.
God damn those vampires.
So some young girl's going out into the woods or whatever, and then they find her and she's just some old lady. And... Damn
empaths.
And, it's just the problem with a lot of Hammer movies is they weren't distributed very well. So it didn't catch on. It didn't become... But now it's kind of like a big cult thing. Everybody loves Captain Cross. Yeah. And number 10. Should have been a series, cool. But...
Luke, Confused Reviews. What's up, my friend?
Hey.
Check them out.
We got a good crowd today. I like it.
You know what? Another one that could have been on my list is Fearless Vampire Killers.
Mm-hmm. We keep saying we're going to do a commentary on that.
It's a long movie. But anyways... okay, so my number 9.
You know what else should have been an honorable mention? Salem's Lot.
Yes.
That could have been an honorable mention. It doesn't make my top 10.
Well,
see, I said I needed 15.
Let's not give away our list.
I'm not giving away my list.
Okay, so number 9.
I'm giving away what's not on my list.
Number 9. You guys may be shocked, but it's Dracula, 1931.
That's
the
fair.
old black and white.
That's fair.
It's not the best, but it's what jump started the Universals and got those franchises going. Mm-hmm. And I do love the film. I mean, me and Ted have talked before. I love almost the Spanish version more than the...
A lot of people don't give that one a watch.
Original version.
It's good.
So if you're ever able to watch the Spanish version of Dracula, which they were filmed at the same time, literally,
Yeah. They would film Dracula during the day. They did the Spanish one at night.
Yeah. Give that a shot, man. It's a good flick.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, somewhat dated, somewhat slower paced.
1931, I guess, is dated.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
Jesus Christ. But there you go. I mean, no need to talk any further about it. I mean, we all know the classic Universal Dracula with Bela Lugosi. Mm-hmm. It's 9 on my list. So, yeah, there you go.
Fair enough. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Well, thanks.
My number 9 is 1970 House of Dark Shadows. You cannot have no list of vampires without squeezing Barnabas in there somewhere. This was a film that was made after the Dark Shadows soap opera had completed.
You can be guaranteed to have a different list from any of yours.
Yeah.
Ted's list.
This was a sort of a really, really condensed, a lot of things changed, but some things are still there. A condensed version of the soap opera with different kinds of endings, and some of the popular scenes from the soap opera, like where Dr. Hoffman creates the serum that's supposed to cure Barnabas of his vampirism, but it ends up making him age, in the end. And it's a little bit more gritty, a little bit more violent than the soap opera was, because they could do that in the movies.
Right.
It's got the
Jenny,
the Gothic
Gothic
Collinwood Castle. Don't forget me. I'm High on Dimetap.
You're high on Dimetap. Robitussin. No.
I used to watch this on TBS. They would do a double feature, this and Night of Dark Shadows, which is not a vampire film, but it's a great ghost story. And remember TBS? They used to show everything like 9:05, 11:05.
Right.
Everything always started.
Let's do it different. Let's go 5 minutes after the hour.
But my mom's the one that turned that on for me, because I didn't get to watch the soap opera until like Sci-Fi Channel picked it up. So when that came on, she turned it on, and we sat there and watched it. I loved it, and I still have it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually thankful that the crappy Johnny Depp one came out, because when that came out, they put the other two on Blu-ray, and they put out the big box set of the soap opera with everything. So because that movie came out, I got all the other cool shit that I wanted.
Well, real quick, Jenny Delaney, and I disagree with you. Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. On my list. I think she's serious, but...
I mean, if you want to dig it, you can dig it, but...
No, true. No, I'm sorry. We all got our own taste.
I didn't out and out hate everything in it, but, they just made it more of a comedy, I
guess. Luke from Confused Reviews says, From Dusk Till Dawn. Great one. Batman says 30 Days of Night.
That's a movie that just turns everything upside down by the end, man. from Dusk Till Dawn.
I'm just reading because these could be on our list.
It's a cool flick. It just
it is on our list. But 30 Days of Night and Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter were good films. Batman, yes, I agree 100%, man. I love both of those films.
I like 30 Days of Night. That
30
was a good
Days
idea.
of Night, I was this close to putting it on my list, but I'm blowing it now because
Certainly
it's
made
not on my list.
vampires monsters again.
Monsters again, yes.
You know,
and that was my thought process when going into, saying, hey, this is on my list. But it didn't quite make it, But Ben Grimm says Rockula was the best one. Okay,
that's on Amazon to watch, I think. I saw that. I was scrolling through. I think that's on there to watch.
Jenny, Tim Burton directed it also, so he had to make it into a comedy, Dino. Oh, I know. Interview with the Vampire is on my list.
You did get a cameo
Ardent Blood
of Jonathan Frid, Lara Parker, and David Selby, original.
Yeah.
When they're having the party where Alice Cooper's the singer.
Right.
They do walk in. They don't have any lines or anything, but you do see them. They did at least give the original actors a cameo.
Okay. Yes. So let me go to my 8 since Luke brought it up.
What you got?
My number 8 is from Dusk Till Dawn, 1996.
I remember seeing that at the movie theater when it came out.
Quentin Tarantino, yeah.
It was a wild movie because you didn't expect it to turn the way that it turned.
Right.
How it did.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, the whole storyline at the beginning, before they hit that bar, was a totally different kind of movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
An awesome movie, Quentin Tarantino. This is up there,
Robert
man.
Rodriguez directed.
Robert Rodriguez.
Quentin wrote.
Yep. So, and then when they hit the bar, it's just, you're waiting for those vampires, especially on rewatches. And I mean,
Cheech plays like 3 different characters in it.
Right? Yeah.
And I love when he's out there. We got black pussy, white pussy.
Don't know everywhere, man.
Sorry.
And Selma Hayek. I mean, how snake around the neck? I mean, I popped that scene up on YouTube.
Of course you did.
At least every other day. Okay, go on. John Kyle Stanton, $10 super chat.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you so much, John Kyle. Dino and Ted, sorry I can't stick around. I hope you all have a good night along with CP,
right.
Felix, Tim, and the rest. Also, The Lost Boys, Near Dark, Fright Night better be the top 3. John?
Maybe it's a good thing you're leaving.
Well, no.
Oh, is he staying?
Yeah, I can't say nothing. I can't spoil nothing, John. But, John, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being in this little community and all you guys here in the chat and stuff.
Absolutely.
Me and Ted appreciate it so much.
Dino does a lot of work on this. I just come over and talk.
Yeah.
He does all the work.
I try. This is... The personal side of all of this on YouTube is what I love and making all you guys, these friends with you guys. It's just I can't say enough, you guys. So
we got jobs and kids running around, and it takes a lot of time to do this.
Right. So thank you, John, again. Sorry you can't stick around because the list and
it'll be posted.
Yeah, you can watch afterwards.
I wanted to say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to promise me something. If we ever open up a bar, I want to call it the Titty Twister.
Sure.
All right.
I'm game. I'm game.
Because it'd be the most popular joint in town.
It would be if we get an impersonator like Cheech and Chuck.
Yeah,
or
I either want to call it the Regal Beagle,
the Regal Beagle,
or the Titty
Three's
Twister.
Company too. Felix, Ted, and I appreciate it. Lots of laugh. Okay, and Dracula Dead and loving it.
Leslie Nielsen. Yeah.
They're all throwing out names. Batman, Dracula 2000 was good for what it was. Not the best, but still enjoyed. Yeah, okay.
I don't think I saw that one.
Art of Blood. Alice Cooper plays the devil god in the Canadian vampire movies suck.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Okay, so, but again, I mean, all I need to say is Selma Hayek, the bar scene, all what ensues afterwards when they all become vampires. I mean, it's classic. I mean, it's something I saw in 1996 and loved it. So
I remember seeing it at the theater.
There you go.
And they had a really good THX sound system in the part where the bats come out,
Right.
And it was the first. That kind of stuff was kind of new back then.
Yeah.
And you could hear the bats. It sounded like it was just all around you. It was so cool.
It's badass. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, man. Okay, so you're
number 8.
Number 8.
You probably Dracula, 1931. Okay, number 8.
There you go. Made your 8.
The only thing I'll add to what you said about it.
Substar, leading by.
It's of course it's iconic. Bela Lugosi created the look.
Yep.
And all of them have followed since. But it was based on a play. It's stagey. I love the gothic scenes. I love when Bella's on there doing what Bella does. But it's just a little stagey. And,
Which some of those movies at the very beginning, like 1930, 31, coming out of the silent era.
Well, it was originally supposed to be a silent film, but talking got to be new, and they wanted to jump on the sound. A talkie. Because Todd Browning was not a sound director; he was a silent film director. And
there were a lot of films around that time that
So it's a classic in that way, but I think for maybe some of the younger people and that are getting into some of these movies, that one might be a little hard. You might watch and go, it's a little dull. But thank God it's only a little over an hour. So I mean, hell, even Dracula gets killed off screen. I mean, you don't even see it happen. You just hear,
For history's sake, for the horror
belongs
lover,
on the list.
It belongs on the list, and it should be a watch for anybody who loves vampires, especially, but horror in general.
But see, I like it. So, I like to turn off the lights at night and put it on. I do too. But what I'm saying is, it is stagey. But I mean, I'm okay with that. I still like it because that's what I grew up with, and I dig it. But it is lower on the list.
And the female leads in that pre-code kind
always
of era
girls they had,
are always so beautiful, wearing the lacy sheer gowns and
Fay Wray's our girl, man. The ultimate scream queen.
Ultimate Fay Wray. You got that.
Nobody
right,
screamed like my girl Fay.
Guilty Pleasure says Leading Blind, who is star, Vampire Resurrection. I don't think I've ever seen that Vampire Resurrection.
But see, now everybody throws out some movies here and stuff for me to check out.
And Batman says, I was watching your commentary of Dracula 1931 earlier, and Bella Pack the Pistol Lugosi still cracks me up. Well, thanks for watching it, Batman.
We did all the classic Universal. We did a whole series. Every week we did another one.
Batman, if you check out The Invisible Man.
Oh, please watch that one.
We do a little...
My son still loves to watch that.
We do a little skit at the beginning where I do some editing to where we disappear.
I stole some stuff from the hospital.
We disappear on screen, so it's kind of... We had fun with the Universal series, so...
My boy still watches it. How'd you do that?
How'd you do that? It's magic.
It's magic. We took monocaine.
So here we go. This is the one everybody's always talks about, and it made my number 7. Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992.
Love that movie.
With, all the stars, of course. Gary Oldman does a fantastic job.
Can't be beat.
Yeah, I mean, well, he can be beat, but I mean,
he's
up
what
there.
He did in that movie.
No, yeah, I
all
agree.
The different ranges of emotion that his character.
Lots
goes through.
put this up there at number 1, and I mean, I understand totally. It's just I've got different tastes, but God, man, I love the film.
That movie hit me big when it came out. I went to go see it about 3 times. I still have the soundtrack. The Art of Dracula book, I have that. I mean, I love that movie.
No, I mean, from 1931, black and white, slow pace, to this, Francis Ford Coppola did an awesome job. And, the feel, everything, it's an awesome film, so, there you go.
More to come.
That's my number 7, okay.
All right, my number 7. A movie that probably I'm the only person in this whole chat and this whole thing who has seen this movie. Lake of Dracula, 1971.
You talk about this all the time. Go on.
Ever since we started doing this commentary, 4 years ago? Going on 5 years? I don't know how long it's been. I talked about when I was a kid watching Superhost Saturday afternoons. 'Cause that's what I always did. Once in a while, he would show this Japanese vampire movie. It was dubbed in English, of course. And I never knew the name of it. I remembered scenes. I remembered certain scenes.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, I didn't know how to even begin searching for that movie because I didn't know when it was from. Right. I wasn't even 100% sure it was Japanese. Then I noticed, when I started collecting Blu-rays and stuff, that Arrow Video was putting out a set called the Bloodthirsty Trilogy. So I click on it and see what it is. Yeah. And it's 3 movies, Vampire Doll, Lake of Dracula, Evil of Dracula. All directed by the same guy from Toho Pictures, early 70s. These are kind of the only 3 gothic vampire movies to come out of Japan, at least during that period. It was sort of like them trying to jump on the Hammer bandwagon a little bit. And that's how it was described. So I did a little searching on those 3 movies, and I was able to even find them like on Internet Archive or something to watch.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And damn it, Lake of Dracula was that movie.
Oh,
I remembered the scenes because I remember that when they were dead, they were kind of really blue and pale.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn! So I bought that Blu-ray set. I watched all 3 of them. All 3 of them were fantastic.
They weren't doing kung fu and stuff.
No martial arts at all. All of them take place in modern times.
Yeah.
It just happens to be a Dracula character in it. They're very Japanese. If you like Hammer, if you're that kind of person, you would love these movies.
Okay. I know you keep telling me about it.
They're all on Amazon Prime.
Trying to get to it.
If you want to watch them for free, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can watch them all on there.
Yeah.
And they're just really cool. And I'm so happy that Arrow put that set out so that I could have those.
I know.
I didn't even know what the name of it was. I was so excited to have that movie back.
Had to take him to the hospital.
Oh, I was just,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But that's my favorite of the 3. Lake of Dracula.
Lake of Dracula. Yeah, I can't believe that made your list there, but
it's one that I really
understand why it made your list.
I always loved it as a kid, and I just, you forget.
Right.
So I got that back.
Ardith Blood says, I know everyone hates Vampire in Brooklyn, but it's a fave of mine. No.
That's Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy's got his fans. I don't think I've ever seen it, so I can't really judge.
Leading Blind says Vampire in Brooklyn would be on my number 7, probably. Okay.
Wow.
Daybreakers is a good modern one. Have not seen that one.
A
says
lot
Ben
of
Grimm.
movies I haven't seen.
Brandon Orr, Blood for Dracula was kind of cool film, too. Huh. Blood for Dracula. Blood for Dracula. I'm not sure which one that is. Brandon Orr. I'm not sure if I remember you ever being in the chat before, but if not, welcome. Yeah, welcome, man. Number 6 on my list. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is drum roll? No, not no drum roll. The Lost Boys, 1987. Ted shaking his head.
I can't watch that movie without thinking of that oiled up guy playing the saxophone on the...
Ted, the whole movie isn't the oiled up saxophone player. But I know what you're saying. When we did our commentary on
the rest of the movie's fine,
Boys,
but damn it, that ruins the whole movie.
We went off on the saxophone being all greased up with Vaseline stuff. It was funny. We had a good time with that.
Why does he have to be all oiled up?
It's hot out there. They're at a carnival.
So we're going to put oil on our skin.
I know. Ted, we've talked about this.
This is your pick. You go ahead.
We talked about this, but this is just nostalgia, man.
It's classic 80s, man.
Any Generation Xers, really, you know, who grew up, in the 80s, this is one of those staples. I mean, everybody, especially if you're a horror lover, loves the Lost Boys. You got everybody in there,
It's true.
From Jason Patrick to Kiefer Sutherland to everybody's in there.
I'm so weird when it comes to that.
The 2 Coreys are in there. The Frog Brothers. I mean, come on.
And it's not on my list.
Little Eddie Munster is in there.
That's true.
Well,
and then it's not on my list. I mean,
but
I'm weird like that. There's a handful of movies that people just love and love and love, and
that's
I don't hate, but I don't love.
It's a film I can always put in, even if it's once a month. I can watch it, and I don't get sick of it.
Mm-hmm. We all got ones like that. Yeah, those are our go-to, like the ones I got on my phone.
Yeah.
That's why I buy the phone with the highest capacity.
Lost Boys is a go-to. It's always going to be in my collection. Always going to be watching it. So there you go. That's
Lost
Boys. That's my
I got a feeling your list is going to be more popular than my list.
Probably.
But I'll bet there'll be at least 1 or 2 people out there that dig what I'm talking. They like what I'm selling.
Yeah. We both got different tastes. That's what makes it all so interesting.
I love Gothic, and I don't know. I just love mist and shit. So
yeah, you love your 70s,
60s. Let's see. Well, here I go to this. Okay. All right. Time for a hammer. 1960 Brides of Dracula.
Real quick.
What? I always get interrupted.
No, but you can start over. You said it. Ben Grimm says he oiled himself so that the sexiness just flowed off of him. Okay. Felix, they were at Santa Cruz Beach, boardwalk, not a carnival.
Right, yeah, I was trying to think the
sex
word.
guy was on the beach for a concert.
Boardwalk. Yeah, boardwalk. That's
right, Felix, yeah.
I was thinking dock or something like that, but yeah.
Kiefer was yummy, okay, yeah, I got that. Okay, I'm seeing Corey Feldman from Lost Boys, at Boston Comic-Con, says Batman. Cool. Yeah. Get some signatures. Get something from him. But yeah,
tell him to come forward with all the names of the people that molested him when he was a kid, so it can bust the floodgates open.
I think he has, but maybe not. Go ahead.
He's afraid of getting sued because he.
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead again.
Right. 1960, Brides of Dracula, the first official sequel to their Dracula film with Christopher Lee. This one does not have Christopher Lee in it, but it does have Peter Cushing playing Van Helsing, and this one deals with a aristocratic family that has also been infected by the vampire. It's the matriarch mother keeps her son, who is a vampire, chained up in a room, and
it's a commentary we've done in the past.
Yeah, we did that
Brides
movie,
of Dracula,
and that guy ends up getting loose. But apart from it being just a kick-ass movie and one of Hammer's best movies, it's got one of the best endings where to immobilize the vampire, they're fighting at a windmill, and Dr. Van Helsing, Peter Cushing, jumps on the windmill to turn it into the shape of a cross so that the shadow's over him. Yeah, and that's just.
No, that was a badass scene.
That's just awesome.
When Hammer makes a good film, they make a good film.
More of them are good than not.
Well,
more of them.
You've got some taste, so a different.
I got some taste.
Yeah, you sure.
But another thing I like about this film is, and there's at least another Hammer film with the same idea. I love that whole cult of. Within the aristocracy, it's the aristocracy that are being vampirized, and are following the master. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. But one of the best Hammer films if you can watch it.
Okay, no, and again, I keep saying we did a commentary on it, but we've done a shitload of commentaries over almost 4 years here. And technically this is...
I think except for like three of these movies, we've done commentaries on all the movies I got here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do anniversary streams, but technically it's 4 years. Mm-hmm. So we're right at 4 years.
Throw them all back up there.
So there you go.
Make a little vampire playlist on our...
4 years...
Actually, we probably have one.
I think I have a vampire playlist for our commentaries, so... we're up to number 5.
I'm alive.
And my number 5 pick is Nosferatu, 1922, with Count Orlok, Max Schreck plays
eerie as hell movie.
This is just film school, 101, artistic, dark, gothic, moody. Atmosphere, all those adjectives you can throw at it, for a film like this, and just like you said, creepy. It's right in that era, of silence and stuff like that, where it just, no matter what, those films were creepy to begin with.
There's nothing wrong with silent films, people. I'm a huge fan of silent films, comedies, horror films. They've been making horror films since they learned how to crank that handle.
And with the silent films like Nosferatu, because they're silent, you get more mood and atmosphere to those movies. So those are the movies you turn off, total blackness, sit there, watch, and just be mesmerized for roughly around an hour, because movies usually ran around an hour back then. And iconic vampire, Max Schreck did an awesome job.
We should say also, on a historical note, we're even lucky to have that movie because Bram Stoker's widow sued the filmmakers because they didn't clear the rights to film Dracula. They changed the name of the character, they changed the name of the movie, and she won the case, and all copies were ordered to be destroyed. But some had gone out to other countries, and those, found their way into safe places, and that's the only reason why we still have that film. That's why it's public domain. You can watch it for free on YouTube and anywhere. Yeah. Sometimes with different scores. And that's a cool thing about some silent movies too, is
and color.
Different scores, they've colorized it. But different scores give it a different feel depending. And sometimes there's really good Blu-ray or DVD editions that have more than one option. You can kind of pick the one you like.
Yep. No. It's thank God we got that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Another one that should have been on my top 10 but didn't quite make it.
Really quick, let me check the chat on YouTube.
Giving it all away.
Let's see. Blood of Dracula was an Andy Warhol film.
You know, I wondered if that was.
But cool, says Brandon Orr.
There was Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula.
Yeah.
I remember those now.
Cool. And Leading Blinds' Daughter of Darkness is my number 6.
Now, are you talking about the one from the 70s with...
I'm sure she is.
John Carlin from Dark Shadows? Because that's a damn good movie. It's not on my list, but like I said, if I could have had a top 15, that's just a good Euro trash, sleazy...
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie if that's what you're talking about, hon. I've seen that one.
Zachary 8 says, I knew you'd pick all the Draculas. Not necessarily there, Zachary, but...
Dracula movies.
Jenny, the original Jason Ari Lehman is going to be in Albany at one of my malls on my birthday, May 12th. Very cool. I hope you get a...
Yeah, get in there. Yeah. I love going to conventions. I ain't been to one in a while, but I love going to conventions.
Yep.
I've met some cool people.
Brandon Norris says Children of the Night. Oh, he's just... Fart Noise says CP Willis Credia. He's doing another quick drive-by. Thank you for the fart noise. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's my number 5. Did you say your number 5? Go on.
1, 2,
number
3,
5.
4, 5. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3.
I'm sure you're doing more than farting after all those nuts, CP. No, Ted. Sorry, Anthony Perkins and Mia Sarah. Yeah, if you go over to Willis Credia after the stream, no drive-by, sir, says Willis Credia. CP. You got to check out CP late last night after show business, which we do every Monday night there, talk about movies and stuff like that. Him and Emily from Emily's Adventures in Horrorland, who you should definitely subscribe to also. They both did a death nut challenge. CP was putting all kinds of nuts in his mouth. But no, it's a death nut challenge. So they put a hot one in there and it progressively gets hot.
I thought you meant like other dudes.
Yeah, that would.
I'm kidding. Dude.
That would have been. that would have been real popular.
Like, what are you teabagging on YouTube? Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing.
No, hey, but
that's the after party after our show.
It was. Don't say secrets.
Teabagging.
But that was funny as. It actually wasn't funny as. It was funny as hell. But I felt sorry for them, man. You've seen it in their eyes. By that 5th one, I think CP wanted to almost go to the hospital. I don't know how his insides took it, or Emily's for that. I think she took it a lot better. But anyways, Queenie Todd, what is up?
Hey.
That's Ted. That's my secret. Anything for clicks, Ted. Yeah, and After Hours hair too, right? Yes, After Hours, right after show business, where it gets raw and dirty. Anyways,
raw and dirty.
So,
that's the way I like it.
Okay, you're number 5.
Number 5, 1970. I can't get out of these old movies here.
I know.
The Vampire Lovers.
Okay.
All right, this is Hammer again.
The Vampire.
But this is Ingrid Pitt.
I know. You were going to say Ingrid Pitt.
Listen, all I got to tell you guys, I'm not going to get into the whole big
The Vampire Lovers.
We did a commentary on this.
Oh, boy.
You have the beautiful Ingrid Pitt.
Yes, you did.
As a vampire.
Right.
Wearing a lacy nightgown, walking through a cemetery with mist and dark. You could see castles and the moon. And that's all you need.
That's all you need.
You have that in a movie, you immediately have my attention.
Yeah, no.
So
it has all of that and more.
But it's
good very good.
It's based on the Carmilla story, the Karnstein story. There's Hammer has a loose Karnstein trilogy. This is the first of the 3. It was in the late 60s, early 70s when distributors wanted Hammer to include more sex and nudity in their films, and they had to capitulate to get their movies sold.
Right.
It wasn't what they always did.
More teats.
A bit. And I'm thankful for it, but it's teats without a good story can get a little dull sometimes. So,
No, I agree with you 100%.
I need a good story.
Again, The Vampire Lovers is a very fun commentary.
And she's not a normal... She can go out in the daylight, but, she has to stay in the shade. And, it's got Peter Cushing playing a light character. Just a cool movie based off a very famous novella. And they did 2 other follow-ups with the Karnstein name, Twins of Evil and Lust for a Vampire.
Twins of Evil was good, too?
Yeah, we did that one, too, didn't we? Didn't we do that one?
Yes.
So...
The 2
with the Coulson twins.
Yes, an evil hammer chick and a nice
and
hammer
a Puritan,
chick.
Peter Cushing. Roaming the countryside looking for witches and yes, but that
very good film.
Like I said, that is the essence of Hammer for me. Just a beautiful woman in a silhouetty, billowy nightgown walking through a cemetery with mist and crosses and castles. That's what I like.
Yes, that's
when I watch a horror film. That's what I really.
That's
love.
A good one, man. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. What We Do in the Shadows has to be top 3, says Ben Grimm. Everybody's taste is different.
People love that movie. Well, it's a show now too. I don't watch it, but I know of it.
Yes. No, I saw What We Did in the Shadows. I hate to break it to you, it's not on my list. I'll say it right now. But I did enjoy it. What I did hate was that the eldest vampire didn't have a bigger part in it and was killed off in it. So he was the coolest looking thing in there. But again, it's a comedic kind of take on vampires through the years, and I loved the movie. I did. It's just there's other ones I love a little bit more. That's all. Ardith Blood. Then you have both The Vampire Happening and Velvet Vampire, which are basically rip-offs of Vampire Lovers. Okay, cool. And again, thank you.
And that Carmilla story has been told in lots of different films, some newer, some older. That's been adapted a multitude of times.
Right. Okay, so my number 4, Nosferatu the Vampyre, 1979.
Fantastic film.
Werner Herzog, starring Klaus Kinski as the vampire. It's pretty much an upgraded Nosferatu.
Isn't it hard to say it's better than the original?
It is, but
I gotta agree with you.
You know what? Ted,
I like it more.
At times, this can almost be my number 1 flick, man. This, you guys, if you haven't seen this version of Nosferatu, basically...
It's also free on Amazon Prime to watch.
Yeah, you have got to see this. Let me know, anybody, if you guys have seen this and said, whoa, yeah, this is...
Just the music and the images at the beginning alone.
Klaus Kinski does such a freaking good job. And, again... Werner Herzog, he takes the mood and atmosphere in this film for this period of time and just ups it, man. He just one-ups, what you expect out of that kind of a vampire flick and the moody, atmospheric, feel to. I just love that, man. What more can I say? I mean, it kind of got some Hammer feel to it, but. It's a movie that's
its own thing.
It is its own thing. That's exactly what I was going to say next. It's its own thing. It's its own feel. It's oh my god.
There'll be more on that in a few moments.
And again, we did a commentary on this too. And I would say this one going and maybe after you've watched the movie, maybe come back and check out what we have to say about it.
Oh, we had Eric with us for that one too.
Yeah, Eric from the Death Twitch did that with us. And there's scenes there. There's one scene where Klaus Kinski, as the vampire in here, shows up where the moon is kind of showing his shadow on the ground. And he makes this face right up into the camera, just this weird, and then walks off. And it's just something I just can't get out of my head. There's scenes like that in this movie that just get you every single time. And the other one where the one dude's like sitting in the corner because they've got, what do they got? They got ashes of some sort around. Communion wafers that block the vampire from being able to move. And just a freaky scene, man. Freaky scene. This put chills on you. So watching this one in the dark is just
one of the best films ever. You can watch it in German or English. They filmed it both concurrently. I just watch English because there's no difference. So that's my number 4, man. The top 4 is tough for me, but to put them in order here. But yeah, there you go, man. All right, where am I going?
Your number 4.
1958. It was released here as Horror of Dracula, but it's everywhere else it was just Hammer's Dracula.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm. This is the first Christopher Lee outing as Count Dracula.
Okay.
I really love having a region-free Blu-ray player because I imported the British version, which has a few seconds of extra disintegration scene at the end, where he's pulling his face apart during the disintegration. Mm-hmm. It's also a little stagey. It's got, but I love Christopher Lee in it, Peter Cushing in it, and I love the confrontation at the end. Between Van Helsing and Count Dracula.
Right.
Even when he takes like the candlesticks and, has them as a cross and, moves this way and just...
Was this the one where when he dies, like the ashes, like that...
Yeah.
That scene where it was taken out?
He leaps and pulls the curtains down.
Yes.
And the sun starts hitting him and he literally just starts disintegrating.
And wasn't it taken out of the film and put back in recently?
Supposedly the Japanese version had some extra footage, and they have found that and cleaned it up as best they could. And in the UK, you can get that version. That version has the other one, this one.
That's what I thought.
And there's some argument over the color timing and all that. I'm not going to get into all that.
Right.
I just, once you've seen that little bit of extra footage, it's so cool. I just like to have it. So, I'm very happy to have spent a little bit of money and got a region-free Blu-ray player because, especially if you're a Hammer fan, we're starting to get some stuff now.
Right.
But if you're a Hammer fan or a genre fan in general, horror fan, there's so many better editions overseas of a lot of movies that you guys probably really dig.
Hell yeah, man.
Or even, series. I mean, so it pays if you like to collect.
Yeah. Getting a lot of the overseas
I got a lot of the Hammer movies I wanted. Some of them are starting to come out here, but, as long as there's not a huge upgrade in picture quality, I'm not really upgrading, so.
Right. Eric Griffin also adds the, speaking of the Nosferatu type version, is... Shadow of the Vampire with William Dafoe.
The document, or sort of the faux, sort of documentary, sort of, Oh, Willem Dafoe, yes, he's fantastic as Max Schreck in that film.
Oh, hell yeah.
I did see that.
That is another excellent film that could well be on my list. I mean, it's I love the film, love the feel, the creepiness of it too, yeah.
Good, I've seen it. I've seen it at least once.
So number 3.
Oh, we're in our top 3, my top 3. All right.
Number 3 for me is, and some of you guys are going to go, what the frick? But let me explain afterwards. My number 3 pick is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
All right.
1948.
Dracula's more of a character in it than Frankenstein is.
Exactly. It's titled Frankenstein, but it revolves... The whole story revolves around Bela Lugosi, Dracula.
Yes. Reprising the role in film.
Yes.
I think the first time since the original.
Yes. And controlling Frankenstein, who's played by, in this one...
I think it was it Glenn Strange?
Glenn Strange,
Glenn Strange, I think.
Yeah, he was a good one. I was seeing...
Ain't it cool that I know that?
and the Wolfman,
Lon Chaney Jr.?
But the reason I got this so highly up there is because... everybody's attached to certain films, and again, I've talked. If you know me and you've seen our shows before, you know that this is a comfort film for me. This is a movie when I'm sick, I'm not feeling good. I could pop this movie in there, and it takes it all away. And I can't ask for anything more with certain films, and this is the one that does that for me. Abbott and Costello. Not everybody gets their comedy. But they are funny as hell. I love every one of the 50 movies they've made, somewhere around there, over the years. It's just
hard to believe they didn't like each other. Yeah.
Well, they were
at least in their later days, anyway.
They had ups and downs through their career, but I won't get in a whole Abbott and Costello show here. But again, plenty of horror, monsters. They even made Bela Lugosi cartoonish when he turned into the Bat.
Maybe the first horror comedy, might have been one of the first horror comedies.
Vincent Price does the voice for the Invisible Man at the very end. You got them all. So, there you go.
And it was Jerry Garcia's favorite movie from the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia.
Yeah. So that's why I put it at number 3. Even though it probably wouldn't be on anybody else's list.
I should have known, but I wasn't thinking you were going that way. But
the next 2 Yeah, you know.
All right, I'm curious.
Everybody should.
I wonder if our number one's going to be the same.
All right, well, go ahead. Well,
okay.
Your number
My number three was one that you had a little bit lower down your list, 92, Bram Stoker's Dracula. As I said before, it really affected me when I saw it.
Hey, Chef Dalian and friends. Sorry to interrupt that again, but
I was just waiting.
Nice to see you in the chat. Puppet, I think. That's right. I'll have to check again, but yeah, thank you for showing up. Mm-hmm. And I am sorry, Ted.
It is okay.
I'm just throwing out the names.
I'm growing accustomed to it.
I'm so rude.
And yeah, I'll be the first one to tell you Keanu Reeves was probably miscast in this movie.
That's the only flaw in this flick.
Winona
yeah,
Ryder's
but it's not even a flaw.
I would have maybe preferred a British actress.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins chews it up a little bit here and there. I don't.
Yeah.
I envision Van Helsing being a little bit more of a metaphysical warrior of sorts.
Yeah.
But the reason I will put this film so high up, and like I said, my top three are usually just my top three. They're not really going to change very much.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Make sure you guys smash that like button.
Mm-hmm. Gary Oldman that you mentioned.
It helps.
The makeup effects, the werewolf, the bat.
Yeah.
Just the vampire in general.
The three vampires that he keeps.
That's part of the
slaves.
story.
Yeah.
I like the incorporation of the Vlad the Impaler at the beginning.
Yeah.
The scenery, the costumes, and it won awards for most of these things.
Right.
The music that pumping theme that starts at the beginning. The in-camera tricks, most of the effects were done in-camera using old school cameras and techniques, stuff that they would have used during like Nosferatu, the original, and things like that. I'm in love with the movie. I just always have been. And its flaws and all.
Right.
I just
more so than me.
It's just
fine.
A beautifully made film,
mm-hmm.
and I don't care what anybody says. I'll defend it to my death.
There's nothing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's really anything to defend. I mean, I'm not sure how many people would hate it.
Well, a lot of people will put it down for some of the reasons that I mentioned.
Right. I get you there. Yeah.
As I've said many times, I can look past bad acting and bad special effects if the story is really well told, and in this particular Dracula interpretation, it is. And just a great movie. I went to see it a few times in the theater. It was fantastic each time.
Zachary Haith says in the chat, no subspecies. I'm surprised. Hey, as much as I love the subspecies series, it is tough to make a top 10 list.
See, when I make a top 10 list, I'm not putting on here what's necessarily popular or what everybody likes.
Yeah, it's what we love.
I think a lot of lists, will be that. It'll be, popular movies.
I think that's why he's surprised, because he knows we love subspecies, though. Yeah.
And I love me some Full Moon.
Hell yeah.
And it's not, and I'm not even picking on what he said, because subspecies isn't necessarily popular.
Yeah.
What I'm basically trying to say is that it's I actually put some thought into these these top 10 lists, and I don't try to purposely pick movies that no one's ever heard of or nobody likes.
Right.
It's just that tends to be what I like.
Hey, if you've watched,
always have.
If you've watched our show over all these years,
right,
Ted's likes and my likes.
Like a lot of these movies that people mention, What We Do in the Shadows, I haven't even seen it.
I've seen it, but
it's in my queue. I'll get to it some year, but I haven't even seen it. Lost Boys, I don't really care for it. But it's weird.
Felix Raiders AK says lesbian vampire killers is so underrated.
I mean, in real life they are, but
Easy is
as long
just
as they're hot.
You ducking, annoying, and going. Okay, I got you. I meant Radu the ducking. Okay, there you go.
Radu.
So here we go.
Top two,
and here we go, man. These are it.
Give me your number two.
My number two is Near Dark, 1987.
Near Dark. I easily could have put this on this list, but I didn't.
This isn't on yours at all.
I love it, but I like these others more.
Okay.
But I love Near Dark. I told you we needed a top 15. Then it would have been perfect.
Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, Jenny Wright.
Oh.
Jenny Wright.
So cute.
Yeah. The blue
Only did a
eyes,
couple of movies, man. Just
Yeah. The blue
only did a
eyes,
couple of movies, man. Just
Yeah. She was also in St. Elmo's Fire.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name's
girlfriend or ex-wife or whatever.
Yeah, Rob Lowe's ex-wife.
Yeah, Rob Lowe.
Yeah, they had.
And they start fighting and making out in the bar after.
Yeah, but Jenny Wright, man, back in the day when I watched this film, that hit me, man.
Almost elfin.
When she was there at the whatever the liquor store, beverage store, with
licking that ice cream.
Licking the ice cream cone outside with the truck and the boondocks, the sticks as they call it,
out in Texas.
I was mesmerized and captured, man, and not to mention that it just was an overall great film.
It's unique.
It's unique. It's different.
The cast of characters.
It'll
so
always
diverse.
stand out as a different kind of vampire flick.
You got a child. You got Bill Paxton. You got Lance Henriksen. It's almost like an Aliens reunion. You got at least
Adrian
like 3
Pasdar is the one that they try to turn, whatever you want to, what they do, they don't. But yeah, he also was in Heroes back in the day. I think that's almost over a decade old now, that series that was out there for a while. He was the main guy in there who, if you guys have seen Heroes, love that show. But yeah, I mean, them getting him to, try to turn in the bar when they all...
I'm not looking.
I saw your eyes.
I can't read your chicken scratch.
But yeah, I mean, Near Dark. I would think it's up there in a lot of people's lists. For good reason, man.
I don't know if anybody in the chat mentioned it,
man.
But I mean,
rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
But
yes,
what I like about it the most is that they leave the idea of are they really vampires or not a little vague. They don't have fangs. They do drink blood. You do see one character catch on fire there at the end, but it doesn't have the typical vampire tropes. And there's a few movies that are like that, and that's why I really like it. And Bill Paxton, I love the part.
It's more of infection. But anyway,
2 parts that I love with Bill Paxton is he's about to bite the guy in the bar. He's like, I hate it when they ain't been shaved.
Yeah.
And then after that, he's just like, finger licking good. And that was an ad lib.
Bill Paxton, man.
That was an ad lib.
Yeah.
And
good old Bill Paxton, man.
Yeah, it's just a unique vampire film, and I wanted to put it on this list, but I have to be honest, I like all these others just a little bit more.
Yeah. And I have to read the rest of Star Leading Blind's list. 3 Salem's Lot, 2 Interview with the Vampire, and 1 Bram Stoker's Dracula. Mm-hmm. Great.
All good choices.
Culture Trini, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Near Dark top 3. Yeah, my number 2, man. I don't know if you just heard me say that, but yeah, it's my number 2. And
I'm a little ashamed, but because it's my kind of movie. But yeah, I don't know this stuff. Where am I at? Where do I do now?
Your number 2.
My number 2.
Yeah, your number 2.
Oh.
So Ted's number 2. Here we go.
Nosferatu the Vampire, 1979. Mine was just a little bit higher up the list.
A little bit higher. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I totally love this film. I love it more than the silent film. There, I said it.
Same here.
I love the first few minutes of it alone. Just when you put it on. And you hear this really eerie chanting music.
Yeah.
And you see actual footage. It's actually down in like Mexico somewhere of these mummified bodies. Yeah. And it's like, that chanting.
Yep.
And it's all these real horribly desiccated, mummified bodies, children, women, men. Mm-hmm. And it goes through all of that. And that just sets a mood right there. Like, ooh, that's, And the slow motion images of the bat, and they have those scenes. Not to mention all the things that you mentioned. And then just the way that it ends, the character that you mentioned that was not the Dracula character, because he does perish in the end, but it's sort of a metaphor for the Black Plague.
Yeah. And
you see that in the film with the rats. Wherever Dracula goes, there's hordes of rats. And, he has spread the disease. And when that character who's trapped in the corner by the broken up host is able to get away, he just rides out into the night to continue to spread the Black Plague everywhere in the world to the 4 corners of the earth.
Yep.
And it does not have a happy ending. And I love the hell out of that movie. It's a fantastic movie to own, and you can watch it on Amazon for free. So no excuses.
Yeah, amen, man. Great.
One of the best vampire films.
Yeah, and my number 2. So
it took me a while to see that one too. I think when that Beware, when we used to be that video store I mentioned, where all they rented were these kinds of movies, horror films, cult movies.
Yeah.
You know, you could go and film a movie on your camcorder and they'd rent it. That's where I think I rented this the first time. It was fantastic.
Cool. Okay. Well, here we go, you guys. My number 1 favorite vampire film of all time is Let the Right One In, 2008. Bullied Oscar. Love and Revenge with Eli. You know, this is my favorite film, man. It's a Swedish film, done like no other movie I've seen before.
Beautiful movie.
You know, a dark, somewhat dark, desolate, dreary, depressive kind of movie, but fitting for the movie and for what was going on. I mean, you got this kid, this blonde-haired kid, the casting.
Picked on,
perfect.
Bullied.
You know, Oscar in this movie is just, you know,
and befriended by a vampire.
Plays the perfect role, the perfect part. And, you know, the meeting alone with Oscar and Eli, you know, and at that playground there in front of the apartments, just, it gets me every time, you know.
It is
and
lovely.
Yeah, and the stuff that Oscar goes throughout the film just enthralls you, makes you feel sorry for him, and just, you know, you root for him through the whole film. And I'm, you know, again, I think most of you've seen it. I won't give a whole lot away in case you want to see it yet if you haven't. But you know, and then you got that iconic scene about, is this your number 1 too?
No.
Was this on your list?
No. But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I
know.
You know what?
We went completely different directions.
I've read the book.
Yeah.
And the book is so much better than the movie. The movie's good, but the book gives you so much more.
Movie's freaking fantastic.
And you should read this book.
No, I know.
The book gives you more
details.
More about Oscar's life, the bullying and everything.
Zachary agrees.
Forgive me, I can't remember the name of the guy who was with Eli.
Right.
But you get his whole backstory and how they met.
Right.
You get her backstory, how she became a vampire.
Yeah.
You get all of that, and they couldn't put all that in the movie. The book is just so much better, and one of the author's other books has a small little short story that takes place after the film, which I recommend you reading as well.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure you could look it up and find it. I guess that's the only reason. I love the film, but the book, I love it more.
Okay. No, I know. I think we've talked about this before.
It belongs on a list, but it's not on my list.
Again, you guys, I can't say enough, man, how much I love that film. Let's see, catch up real quick before Ted says his number 1. Dracula from 2004 is great. Another BBC reimagining. Have you guys seen Dracula with Jack Palance?
Yes, I watched it on.
Says Eric.
I'm not shilling for Amazon.
Yeah,
but we got Amazon. There's a lot of good films on there. So out of all the streaming services, that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
because they actually have a lot of good movies on there.
Right.
And I did watch that one, and that's pretty good too. Jack Palance is pretty good.
Let's see. The book is twisted. Let the right one in, says Art of Blood. As Ted said. Yeah,
well, I hope you agree with me. The book is
Ted's right.
Much
the book
better.
Is awesome. I mean, everybody's agreeing. The book is awesome.
And if you're a big fan,
I
would recommend you reading it. It's richer.
Should be on Amazon Kindle, I think. Maybe I'll go.
It's just so much more of everything that you love about the movie.
Right.
There's just so much more.
Okay. So here we go. I am anxious to hear what your number one is going to be.
I am disappointed in all of you because I don't think anyone's even mentioned it in the chat, and it was not on your list.
Yeah?
1977, Martin, by George Romero.
No, but it was out there, but it didn't make my list, and I knew that the movie was out there. It just didn't make my list.
Number one. Have you guys seen this movie? It's hard to find. It's out of print. I have the DVD, and in the UK, it's coming out on Blu-ray soon, so I'm going to pick that up.
Yeah.
But it's done the way Dino and I kind of like, some of our movies is dirty. The way that it's filmed, it doesn't even seem like it's actors. It's almost like a documentary. Yeah. It's just so gritty and dirty.
It's like the basket case of vampire flicks. Yeah, it's a gritty
made on the streets in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Tom Savini's the only recognizable face you'll see in it, really. Mm-hmm. It's about a young man being sent to live with his great uncle, I think. Mm-hmm. And because there's supposedly a family curse of vampirism. Yeah. His great uncle's very old school, very old country-ish, and is convinced that Martin is indeed a vampire. And the whole cool thing about the story is Martin really a vampire? He drinks blood. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have fangs. He can go out in the daylight. Sunlight just kind of hurts his eyes a little bit. Garlic doesn't have any effect. Crosses don't have any effect.
Felix, he said Martin is his favorite. No, this is his number one. So
Martin Lawrence, the show.
Martin. No. I love the film too. When we watched this,
we did a commentary on this film. It's probably next to Night and Dawn of the Dead, my favorite Romero film. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting that I just bought this blind. I remember like when Best Buy used to be the kind of place you could spend a couple hours in, looking up and down the aisles. Right. And I remember I had a few bucks I wanted to burn, and I was looking for something to buy. Yeah. And I saw this movie. I was like, oh, George Romero, I never saw this movie. And I read it, and I picked it up. It was like $11, and it was one of my favorite movies. And the whole question throughout the end of the film is he really a vampire or not? He seems to think he is. He has these flashbacks. But again, like Near Dark, there's none of the usual vampire tropes to it. Right. And it's left completely open at the end of the film. You don't know if, the vampire died or if he was murdered and buried in the backyard.
If he was just, psychologically damaged.
I mean, there's even a cool talk show host, like sort of like an Art Bell, that he talks to on the phone. He calls himself the Count, and he's always questioning about vampire stuff, and the music is very sparse. Like I said, it's done almost documentary style, right? And again, I like that it's not a typical vampire film. It's left open-ended, and I really dig that. And it's gritty, and it just feels real.
Yeah. No, there you go.
Number one.
Hey, no arguments from me. I mean, it's a good one.
I wonder if anybody out there, if any of you have seen it, it's fantastic.
Well, Felix definitely says it's not in his top 15, but maybe Mike makes his top 20. I think, again, Ted, you've got a bit of a different taste.
I have different taste than just about everyone I know.
Right. So there's that. But so
just for the shits and giggles, I was going to put King Kong at number one.
Lord, King Kong's going to be on every list. So there you go, man. There's our top 10 vampire films of all time, in my opinion, Ted's opinion. This was fun.
Yes,
I appreciate everybody in the chat and showing up and hanging with us, as long as you do. Yeah, so until next time, I think we're flirting with the idea of doing a Friday the 13th commentaries coming up here.
We'll give you what you guys want.
So we may do that for next week live. As usual, we will be live every Tuesday.
It'll be more fun if you guys chime in too while we're watching this flick.
Yeah, so get ready for Friday the 13th. The original.
There'll be alcohol and pretzels.
Next week, possibly. I know CP would like to get in on this because...
Bring him on.
He's a big Friday the 13th guy. He's having issues with his laptop right now, so we'll see. But we'll figure it out,
Almost don't even need to watch them. I've seen all these movies a million times back in the day. It's just... It's like going back to an old girlfriend or something.
Yeah, so again...
Maybe one that you didn't like that much.
Check out our Patreon, because we're doing a couple other videos for that specifically. That should be going up tomorrow, probably. Little more fun, laid back, all that good stuff. Links are down below, guys. And until next time, man, I guess we'll just... We'll end it here. Let me hit that stop button. And until next time, you guys, the Late Late Horror Show. Peace out.